Have you ever noticed that some people never say goodbye but instead always say see you soon? That simple phrase is actually a powerful brain trick backed by real neuroscience. Your brain operates on something called the peak end rule. This rule means your brain judges an entire experience based on how it ends. The final moment shapes everything you remember. When someone says goodbye, it signals a hard stop. Your brain files that moment as an ending. The memory gets closed and sealed away. But when someone says see you soon, something very different happens inside your head. Your brain does not register a final ending. Instead, it senses a continuation. It feels like there is more to come. That small shift in words changes your entire emotional memory. Think about the last time a close friend said see you soon to you. Did you feel warm inside? Did you walk away smiling? That was not just politeness at work. That was neuroscience firing on all cylinders in your brain. The peak end rule was first studied by a researcher named Daniel Kaplan. He discovered that people do not remember experiences as a whole. They remember the peak emotional moment and the very last moment. Those two snapshots define the entire memory. This means the ending of any interaction carries enormous weight. If a conversation ends on a cold note, the whole talk feels cold. If it ends on a warm note, everything feels warm. The words see you soon create an incredibly warm ending. They wrap the entire interaction in a positive glow. Your brain stores that whole encounter as a happy memory. Every laugh you shared gets amplified. Every smile becomes brighter in your mind. Every word exchanged feels more meaningful. All because the ending was handled with care. Now here is where it gets even more interesting. When someone says see you soon, your brain hears a promise. It hears that a future meeting is coming. This triggers something very powerful in your neurochemistry. Your brain starts releasing dopamine. Dopamine is the chemical of anticipation and reward. It is the same chemical that fires when you look forward to a vacation. It is the same chemical that lights up when you expect a gift. Your brain essentially treats see you soon as a mini reward signal. Instead of feeling the sadness of parting, you feel excitement. Instead of loss, you feel hope. Instead of an ending, you feel a beginning. This is an incredible mental shift caused by just two words. The person who says see you soon may not even realize what they are doing. Most people who use this phrase do it completely naturally. They are not sitting there calculating brain chemistry. They are not thinking about dopamine or memory storage. But their instinct is doing all of that work for them. Their subconscious mind knows exactly how to protect a relationship. It knows how to leave a lasting positive impression. It knows how to turn a farewell into a future promise. And that is what makes it so beautiful. There is also an emotional intelligence layer to this habit. People who consistently say see you soon tend to value their relationships deeply. They do not want any interaction to feel final. They want every meeting to have a thread that connects to the next one. This creates a continuous emotional bond between people. It is like an invisible string that ties one moment to the next. You never feel fully separated from that person. Even when they are far away, you carry that warmth with you. Your brain keeps that connection alive through the dopamine loop. Every time you think about them, you get a tiny spark of joy. That spark is the see you soon effect working in the background. It keeps relationships fresh and alive in your memory. Now think about this from the other side. When you are the one saying see you soon, you are giving a gift. You are giving the other person a reason to smile after you leave. You are planting a seed of anticipation in their mind. You are telling their brain that this is not over. You are saying there is more happiness ahead. That is an incredibly generous thing to do with just words. It costs nothing, but it creates immense emotional value. The other person walks away feeling lighter. They feel valued and important. They feel like they matter enough to see again. That feeling of mattering is one of the deepest human needs. Psychologists have studied this need for decades. People who feel like they matter to others have better mental health. They experience less anxiety and less depression. They have stronger immune systems and live longer lives. So when you say "see you soon," you are contributing to someone's well-being. You are adding a tiny but meaningful layer of emotional safety. You are telling them they have a place in your future. That message resonates deep in the human psyche. Now let us talk about what happens in the brain in more detail. When a social interaction ends on a positive note, the amygdala calms down. The amygdala is the brain fear and threat center. During goodbyes, it can activate because separation triggers ancient survival instincts. Humans evolved as social creatures who needed their group to survive. Being separated from the group meant danger in ancient times. So your brain still carries that old wiring. Goodbyes can trigger a subtle stress response. But "see you soon" short circuits that stress response beautifully. It tells the amygdala there is no real separation happening. The group is still intact. The connection is still there. Safety is maintained. This is why "see you soon" feels so much better than goodbye. It is not just about words. It is about calming an ancient part of your brain. It is about soothing a deep evolutionary fear. The prefrontal cortex also plays a role here. This is the brain planning and future thinking center. When you hear "see you soon," your prefrontal cortex activates. It starts imagining the next meeting. It starts planning and anticipating. This forward-looking activity is associated with positive emotions. People who have things to look forward to are generally happier. They cope better with stress and challenges. They have a more optimistic outlook on life. "See you soon" gives your brain something to look forward to. Even if no specific plan is made, the phrase creates a vague future anchor. Your brain latches onto that anchor and uses it as a source of comfort. This is why you might think of someone randomly and smile. Your brain is revisiting that anchor point. It is replaying the promise of "see you soon." And each time it does, it gives you another small dose of dopamine. This cycle can repeat for days or even weeks after an interaction. The memory stays warm and alive much longer than it normally would. Compare this to a flat goodbye. After a standard farewell, the memory begins to fade quickly. There is no future anchor to keep it alive. The brain files it away and moves on. The emotional charge dissipates rapidly. Within a few days, you might barely remember the interaction. But with "see you soon," the memory has staying power. It lingers in your mind like a favorite song. You find yourself looking forward to the next meeting. You find yourself valuing that person more. You find yourself investing more in the relationship. All of this happens below conscious awareness. It is a beautiful example of how small words create big changes. There is another fascinating aspect to consider. The person who habitually says "see you soon" is also benefiting themselves. They are training their own brain to focus on future positive events. They are building a habit of optimism and forward thinking. Over time, this rewires their neural pathways. They become more resilient to the sadness of parting. They become better at maintaining long-term relationships. They become more emotionally stable during transitions. This is because their brain has learned to convert endings into beginnings. Every farewell becomes a doorway instead of a wall. Every parting becomes a pause instead of a stop. This mindset has profound effects on mental health. People who frame endings as temporary tend to handle loss better. They recover from setbacks faster. They maintain hope during difficult times. The simple habit of saying "see you soon" is actually training the brain for resilience. It is a form of cognitive reframing that happens automatically. The person may never read a psychology book in their life, but they are practicing one of the most effective psychological techniques. Cognitive reframing is used in therapy to help people change their perspective. It helps people see challenges as opportunities. It helps people see endings as new beginnings. And here we have people doing it naturally every single day, just by choosing "see you soon" over "goodbye." That is the power of instinctive emotional intelligence. Some people are born with a natural understanding of how relationships work. They know without being told that words carry weight. They know that the last thing you say matters most. They know that hope is the greatest gift you can give someone. And they express all of that in two simple words. "See you soon" is not just a phrase. It is a philosophy of connection. It is a declaration that relationships do not end. It is a belief that every meeting leads to another. It is an act of faith in the future. It is a statement of love in its purest form. So the next time someone says "see you soon" to you, pay attention. Notice how it makes you feel. Notice the warmth that spreads through your chest. Notice the small smile that forms on your lips. Notice the lightness in your step as you walk away. That is neuroscience and emotional intelligence working together. That is someone caring about you in the most subtle way. That is a tiny act of kindness disguised as a casual phrase. And now that you know the science behind it, you can use it too. Start saying "see you soon" instead of "goodbye." Watch how it changes your interactions. Watch how people respond differently to you. Watch how your relationships deepen over time. Watch how your own mood improves at the end of every meeting. It is one of the smallest changes you can make. But it is also one of the most powerful. 2 words can reshape how your brain stores memories. 2 words can trigger dopamine and create anticipation. 2 words can calm your ancient fear of separation. 2 words can strengthen every relationship in your life. The science is clear and the evidence is real. "See you soon" is a masterclass in human connection. It is neuroscience wrapped in warmth. It is psychology delivered with a smile. So try it today and see what happens. I believe you will be amazed at the difference it makes.